everybody, Kat here, and we're going to practice our caterpillar family sequence today. So just checking you've got some cushioning at home, whether that's a bolster or some pillows or folded blankets. You might like to have some blocks handy, and we'll be using a yoga strap today. So if you haven't got an actual yoga strap, a scarf, a tie, a dressing gown, waistband, anything that you can use instead of a strap, even a really long towel folded over may work today. And then finding your way into any comfortable position. You may like to stay seated or have a lay down onto your back. Get nice and comfortable for these first few moments. We can ground, settle and arrive, and I can introduce today's theme. So getting nice and comfortable, eyes closed or a soft gaze towards your top lip. Nowhere to be, nothing to worry about. This time is just for you. So noticing how you've arrived today, checking your internal weather gauge, what's present for you, whether that's on a physical level, emotional, mental, or even energetic, all four working together all the time. So how are you feeling? And today we'll be working with another Yin Yoga archetype family that comes from the Paul Grilly lineage of Yin Yoga, who I've trained with. And today we're working with Caterpillar. So Caterpillar family is all about the back body. So the myofascial groups of the hamstrings, the thoracic lumbar, the middle lower back tissues, and also through the skeletal groups of around the pelvis, lumbar, thoracic, and even the cervical spine. And the Caterpillar family working again from the whole body, top to bottom, around the back body, and also remembering whenever we're opening up, therapeutically stressing the back body, front body still getting lots of love through the compression. So if you're laying down flat, just noticing how the back body's feeling today. Especially when we're in a neutral position, there's no weight on one side more than the other. So how's the back body feeling? If you are noticing any niggles, any tender spots today, please always practice with kindness to yourself. And there'll be quite a few forward folds today, so if anything doesn't feel good, remember it's not how deep we go into the fold, it's how long we can stay. So even just a slight nod of the chin working into the cervical spine, which is part of our caterpillar family today. And likewise, when we get into the shape, if suddenly a shape feels a little bit too spicy, we can use our cushioning, our props, just to take the edge off as well. So anything else you can notice about your body as a whole, or the back body today? And slowly starting to bring some movement into your fingers and your toes, give them a little wriggle, maybe having a stretch. Hugging knees to chest, maybe having a rock side to side. Before rolling over to one side to come up to a seat, as we'll start in a seated position for our first shape of butterfly pose. Push it upright, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees drop out wide. It's a slight variation here. We'll be working into definitely our back body for our caterpillar family, coming to the forward fold. But also just stressing the inner thighs as a secondary sensation today. If the knees are sitting higher than the hips, up on a folded blanket, or if you've got a block or a heavier cushion to sit on. If the knees need a bit of support, again, you can stick a couple of cushions underneath the knees, or if you do have a yoga bolster, makes the perfect double leg rest. So for our caterpillar family, it's focusing on the back body. So do make sure, even though there'll be sensation in the inner legs, that sensation here isn't distracting you from what's going on in the back body. I like to have my bolster on my feet so we can lift out the lower back, reach the chest forward and round down. Again, chin can nod in. We've got 4 minutes here. So do please, of course, pay attention to the sensation on the inner legs. Make sure it's manageable, broad sensation that's not grabbing your attention too much. And then bring the focus to the back body, all the way down, back of the body, depending how much your chin's nodding in, right from the base of the skull, all the way down to the tailbone. So these are the tissues of the caterpillar family, the thoracic lumbar, and also the joints, all the way from top of the spine, the cervical, right down into the sacrum. So allowing the shoulders to drop, to soften, remembering to have as many cushions underneath the elbows or snuggled up against the chest to help you stay here a while. So in this short series, I'm breaking down the archetype families into their own groups. But if we did a practice with a shape from each family, we'd pretty much get the whole of our body focused on. So Paul made the different families to focus on the different areas of the body, the different skeletal groups, as well as the myofascia, the muscle and the tissue groups. And the caterpillar family with the Chinese meridians is connected to the kidney and the urinary bladder, which I'll definitely come to later on in the philosophy. So just over 1 more minute left. And just noticing if sensation has got a bit quieter, if you feel the body softening, allow the forward fold just to come to you without force. And I'll let you know when the final minute is up. Last few breaths. Nice and slow, keeping the head heavy. Lift the chest. Move your cushioning off to the side. If the legs feel heavy, bring them in. You're so welcome just to lay straight down onto your back, or you might like to sit in an egg shape, elbows to knees, or if the legs have had enough, stretch the legs out long and sit back on the hands. And notice how you feel, especially around the back body, lower back. Of course, there'll be sensation around the legs. If you're laying down, coming back up to a seat, the caterpillar pose. So targeting the whole of the backs of the legs and into the back body. So you might like to have a folded blanket and just sit on the closed end of the folded blanket. So even if it's only folded up a little bit, you can just get the forward tilt so we're not slumping and dumping into the lower back, just so we can get some extra reach out the lower back to really get into one of our main target areas. If you know your hamstrings are a little bit spicy today, feel free to put your bolster or a folded towel blanket underneath the backs of the knees. So try this option first if you know the hamstrings are a little bit niggly, and we can come into our rounded forward fold once again. If you don't need the bolster underneath the knees, you can have some cushioning on top of the legs. Just careful not to push down onto the kneecaps, as that might get a bit uncomfortable. We can round over the cushioning, either have the cushion horizontal or long. You can either support the head in your hands or just let the chin nod in. So you've got 4 minutes here. You're really focusing into the spine. So we've just been here in our previous forward folds, noticing how the fold feels second time round at different leg orientations. It may feel different, especially around the lower back. But of course, if the back's not feeling juicy, it's all right, just be a bit more upright. We can take the focus into the hamstrings, which is still very much the caterpillar family. This is our caterpillar pose, our main pose shape for the archetype family. So settling in and supporting yourself as needed. And support is the key word for the meridians of caterpillar. The kidney and the urinary bladder. So the urinary bladder is the longest meridian out of all 12 meridians. Runs from the inner eyebrow over the back of the head and down the back body. When it gets to the base of the skull, it actually branches off. Obviously there's a left side and a right side, but it branches off left and right into 2 channels. All the way down the back body, there's 2 left side bladder channels, 2 right side bladder channels, 4 channels running all the way down the back of the body until they join up into one line, left and right, just at the top of the hamstrings, and goes all the way down to the feet, where it meets with the kidney channel on the inside edge of the big toe, runs over the ball of the foot, and then comes up the inner leg. So just where we were in our last shape. So our last shape was very much supporting the meridians of kidney bladder. So kidney runs up the inner thighs, up the front of the hips, front of the ribs, just to finish in the lower chest. That's where our meridians are running. So very much in line with the physical target areas. And kidney bladder reminds us to slow down, to recharge, to give ourselves support. We can't run on an empty battery, but quite often we do. So what we need to support ourselves to nourish and to replenish. And just 1 more minute left here in caterpillar, so I'll leave you with that thought. Yeah, maybe what does support mean for you? and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Last few breaths. Nice and slow, lifting the chest, chin rises last. Placing any cushioning to the side, moving any blankets you may have been sitting on. Option to bend up the knees, sit elbows to knees in your egg shape. Or slide on down. And rest on your back. And this may feel nice after 2 forward folds, just come back to the mat, spine neutral, spine straight. Might feel a little bit niggly, but notice how you feel. Nice. Bending up the knees, feet on the floor. Grabbing any cushioning, preferably your bolster or like a firm cushion if you've got one, just to bring underneath the back of the pelvis. A couple of options here. So option 1 is just to float the feet off the floor and take just a knees to chest, like an upside down happy baby. So focusing again on the lower lumbar spine. So if you need to, I definitely just need to bring the bolster up a little bit. So probably a little bit higher, having the cushioning underneath the pelvis lower back than we would do if we were, say, in a restorative bridge position. So just feeling the rounding through the lower back here. So different orientation, so it may feel different. Just having the chin slightly tucked in this position, feeling the back of the neck, cervical spine nice and long. So we'll take 3 minutes here. You can have the knees as wide as what feels good for you. You may not even have to hold on to the legs, the knees. You can just have knees hugging into chest. So we'll add layers to this shape as needed. Just noticing how you feel here through the lower back, feeling the compression on the front of the body. It's a really good one for opening up the bladder channel, but also squeezing and compressing into the kidney. And good for the physical kidneys as well, bringing some focus here. And kidney bladder reminding us to charge our batteries, top ourselves up. They're the meridians connected to winter, the most yin time of the season, of the seasons, of the year. Winter, colder, darker, perfect time to hibernate, be inward. Take the time not to be on, not to be in full bloom. So just like nature needs a sabbatical. Everything slows down, not much grows in winter. Taking a rest before the new cycle starts in spring. 24-hour meridian clock between 5 and 7 is when is kidney o'clock. So that's that time in the 24-hour clock to take some time to slow down, to nourish, to replenish. Winding down for our evening. So from here, you can stay right here if you like, or if you'd like to come into slightly more of a thoracic shape, you can straighten out the legs, not coming into a full caterpillar, but just bringing the legs not directly up to the ceiling like we would in waterfall, but this is an option if that feels good for you. But just bringing the legs back behind you to get a little bit more into maybe the thoracic spine where the back ribs are. If this feels too much pressure, especially onto the neck, just come back either to a waterfall, legs straight up, or just having your knees to your chest. So by enhancing the chi flow in kidney and bladder today, helping to recharge, replenish, reminding ourselves each day to take the quiet yin time to recharge our batteries. Then we can be in better service for those in our care or around us. So the last few breaths here. The legs are back behind you, just bending through the knees, nice and slow. Take your time to roll back through the spine, feet to the floor. You may just linger here for a moment, just in a sort of half restorative bridge. Before moving your cushioning off to the side or underneath the knees, roll the spine back down to the mat. Oh, might feel a bit achy. Option to keep the knees bent or stretch the legs long. Have a sigh. And notice how you feel. I'll be using your strap or strap alternative for our next shape. So if you do have your yoga strap, just making sure it's in one big loop, as you may like to come into the hammock option. Or if you've only got a towel or a scarf, I'll show you the foot in strap variation. So bending up knees, feet on the floor. We'll start with the right leg. So placing your strap, your scarf around the ball of the right foot and lowering the elbows down to the floor. But of course, if you prefer to hold the strap a bit higher up, you can. Have a nice soft bend in the knee. The leg doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be stacked over the hip, as this is yin. You can be a little bit more flexible, adaptable. It's a single leg target here for the back of the hamstring. And a little bit of a bend in the knee helps us to really feel into the belly of the hamstring. And just noticing your first edge, what feels good for you here. And if you've only got a scarf or a towel, you can stay right here. If you have got a strap or something that you can loop and bring around the back of the head, you can come in to hammock. So if you have got a yoga strap, just making sure the metal bit is to the side. That way you can adjust the length of the strap as needed. Then just let the head hang heavy, just like you're laying back into a hammock. So just under 4 minutes here. You can keep the left leg bent or feel free to stretch it long. It may not go completely flat to the floor, and that's okay. If that doesn't feel good, if it puts too much pressure into the neck or the hamstring, bring the left foot back to the floor for support. And with the strap just around the ball of the foot, helping to awaken the flow of qi right from the first common acupressure point for the kidney channel, K1, which is just, if you think of the ball of the foot, just inside, there's a little bit of a divot. That's where K1 is, the bubbling spring. Really good for calming the mind, getting the qi flowing, soothing any excess heat in the body. So it's like turning on a tap. It's a bubbling spring of fresh qi. So maybe we can come into our first point of self-reflection around the energetic philosophy for the caterpillar family. Have you been feeling lately? Have your batteries been feeling a little bit flat? Do you need charging up? And of course, we don't just wait till winter to take our yin time. We try and find our pockets of recharging each and every day, which you're doing right now in your yin practice, especially if you're doing it in the evening. Maybe it is around 6, 7 o'clock, right in time and in a line with the kidney time. Even just reflecting and acknowledging when we're feeling like we're burning the candle at both ends. Just bringing awareness to it. So yeah, next day, days to come, even if you've got some hours left of today, where can we take some downtime to rest and recharge? I'll leave you with that thought for the final minute. And we'll take it into the next side as well. Last few moments. The left leg's long, bring it back in. Take your strap off your head if you're in hammock first. And the foot, if you're just in foot in strap, you can release. Stretch the legs long and just take a pause. And notice how the right leg feels compared to the left. It might feel a little bit heavier, it might feel a bit more juiced up. May even feel a little bit longer than the left. Okay, it's really great doing one-sided shapes. You can really see the deliberate imbalance we cause in the body, and noticing even though these holds are long and slow, it may not feel like we're doing much, but now in the pause between, can we feel the difference? Switching sides, let's come to the left leg, so bending up the knees, and just be aware, left side may be different, left leg might be longer or shorter, so you may just need to adjust your strap. So placing strap around K1, around the ball of the foot, just making sure if you have got a yoga strap, metal or plastic bits are to the side. And just holding the strap to begin with, feeling into the back of the left leg. So this is pretty much just like our caterpillar shape we did at the start of the practice, just taking the spine out of the equation, but again working with the hamstrings. We've already been here once for the hamstrings, but the orientation, flipping it to our back using the strap, can make it feel different. If you like to come into hammock, lifting the head, placing the strap around the back of the head, and just laying back into your hammock with 4 minutes here. So yeah, I'll leave you on this side, pondering the philosophies about finding a yin time, slowing down, recharging. And when we do, like even after this practice, notice how you feel for the rest of your day. If you're practicing in the evening, how do you feel the next day? So even though sometimes it's hard, it's a struggle to find out our me time, our yin time, whatever that looks like, then we feel so good afterwards. And don't forget, right leg can be straight or keep it bent. I'll keep an eye on the time and let you know how much time's left. And do know at any point if you need to adjust the strap or if you're in hammock and it's getting too much, you can always come in back into foot in strap. Final minute. Last few breaths. The right leg's long, start to walk it back in. You can release the head, release the strap. You can pop that off to the side now. Lower back down to the earth. You notice the rebound affecting the left leg. You might feel again a little bit tingly, a bit juicy. Maybe there's a change in temperature. Rolling over to one side and pressing up through your elbows and come up to a seat. Now bringing your cushioning behind you for a supported fish. So having your cushioning lengthways behind you, might like to have another cushion or a block. You can place a blanket over the block to support the head, depending on how big your cushioning is. Feet to the floor, then lay the back body, especially the thoracic spine, middle of the spine where the ribs are, back over the bolster. And then head can come to your other cushion or support. Arms can come wide, so really feeling into the front ribs, so opening up through the kidney channel. And this time compressing into the lower back. We've done a lot of forward folds to open the bladder channel and the tissues on the back. Now we're going in the other way to compress. Option to come back into the butterfly legs, and this will get into the kidney channel. Feet together, knees wide, or you can just take legs along and just let the legs flop and have a rest. And just focusing on the lower back, front ribs. We've got 4 minutes here. So head nice and heavy. Again, really allow yourself to be supported, to be held. And the essence of kidney bladder, not burning the candle at both ends, or we're no good to anybody. And as we've moved through our caterpillar family shapes today, working the tissues and muscles, the joints of the whole of the back body, with the spine, then down into the hamstrings. And just be reminded to give back to ourselves, so then we can give to others from a full battery rather than a depleted battery. And just check in, making sure you're nice and soft, especially on the neck, the lower back. Final minute. Taking a few deeper than normal breaths. The legs are long, bend the knees in. If the knees are wide, likewise bring them back in. Then rolling over to one side to come off your props. Pushing yourself up, or it's fine to lift up through the chest, and just take a moment, especially after having the head back. Big blood rush. to the head there. So just noticing how you feel now you're upright. Nice. And we'll set ourselves up for a deer twist. You can move any cushions out the way that you don't need, and we'll just keep our bolster or a couple of pillows and spin them around so you've got the length of the soft cushioning to lay down on. So you can have the right leg forward and the left leg back behind us, cushioning poking out from the right hip. And then if you've got any back issues going on, if the back's had enough today, we can just lay our side body down, maybe use the head as a pillow, or take more of a turn twist and bring the chest down onto the bolster. So the right leg in front will just feel some twist around the left side of the spine. Feel free to swing the left leg behind you a bit more. Or if the deer legs don't feel good today, feel free to slide the left leg on top of the right. So noticing how the back body feels in the twist. Even if you're in a slightly lesser twist, it may not be as obvious, but you may feel more of a twist down the front ribs. So just twisting, rinsing, wringing out through the back body tissues that we've used in the caterpillar family today. Remembering part of the caterpillar family is the neck, cervical spine. So if you would like to actually turn your head in the opposite direction to the legs, get a twist around the neck that's a bit different, you can, but don't force that. And just settle in. Any final reflections around today's practice, whether it's been physical or with the energetic side? And a good reminder here as we rest onto the cushions to allow ourselves to be supported, to be held, so we can nourish and recharge. Final minute. last few breaths. Pressing into the hands slowly, coming off your prop, and just take a moment while you're upright. You can release the legs. And you can bring our twisted deer to the other side. So you can either windscreen wipe the legs over to the other side or bring your props round to the left. You can bend the left leg in front, shin roughly parallel to the front of the mat. Right leg comes back behind you. The same options, you can do a side lay, you can turn twist and come down onto the bolster a little bit more, have a play with the turn of the head. And we've got 4 minutes from here. So again, it may feel different on this side, so make this shape your own, depending on how you feel on this side of the body. Again, right leg can swing back behind you, or you can stack the knees and settle in. few breaths. Slowly unraveling your twist, coming back to upright. We can move our cushioning off to the side, but do keep it handy. And come on around onto your back. Either knees bent or legs long. Have a sigh, have a groan. And notice how you feel. Especially around our focus, our intention about relaxing and recharging. We'll finish off with waterfall today. Great nourishing shape for the backs of the legs. Let's have lots of focus today. Bending up the knees, grab your soft cushioning or a folded blanket. Stick it right underneath the back of the pelvis, so roughly where we were earlier. Take the feet off the floor and take the feet up towards the ceiling. So really just allowing the legs to dangle over the hips. And just feeling the gentle rounding of the lower back this time, not too much pressure there. And settle in. Just a final 2 minutes to finish off. Last few moments. Bending the knees, softly landing the feet to the mat. Lift the hips, slide the cushioning underneath the backs of the knees. Have a sigh. Get ready for your final rest, your final shavasana. Get comfy, get cozy. If you don't wish to lay on your back, you can roll over to a side and come up to a seat. Any position feels super nourishing and relaxing for you. And this is where I'll leave you for today. So please take as long as you like in your Shavasana. Ideally 5 minutes, but you can take as long as you like. If it's the end of your day, end of your evening, you may like to just luxuriate a little bit longer. Always a pleasure to guide you. Thank you so much for being here just for you, observing the philosophies around the kidney and the urinary bladder meridian and the shapes of the caterpillar family. Until next time.